Welcome to my channel, where every story comes to life. Dive into captivating narratives that spark your imagination. Let's start today, new narrative story. Max Harrison, 28, a vibrant and ambitious event planner from Sydney. Max is known for his creativity and zest for life, often bringing his unique flair to every occasion he organizes. He grew up in a modest home with his adoptive mother, Maggie, and has always valued the importance of family. With a passion for bringing people together, he's excited about marrying Ellie, the love of his life. Ellie Cooper, 30, a charming and successful entrepreneur running a tech startup in Melbourne. Smart, witty, and fiercely independent, Ellie has built her career from the ground up. She's deeply in love with Max and looks forward to their future together. However, she harbors insecurities from her past relationships, which sometimes cloud her judgment. Maggie Blake, 55, Max's adoptive mother, a strong-willed and nurturing woman. Maggie raised Max as a single mother after adopting him as a baby. She's a retired school teacher living in a quaint coastal town known for her wisdom and love for her son. She has always been Max's anchor, providing guidance and support through life's challenges. Jason Ward, 31, Max's best friend from childhood, a loyal and humorous bartender with a knack for getting into trouble. He is protective of Max and has always been a steadfast presence in his life. Jason is adventurous, often pushing Max to take risks, yet he struggles with his feelings for Ellie, which complicates their friendship. The story unfolds in the stunning landscapes of Australia, moving between the bustling streets of Sydney and the serene beaches of the Sunshine Coast. Each scene is painted with vibrant imagery, capturing the essence of the characters' emotions and the gravity of their situations. The rooftop venue was alive with laughter and chatter, overlooking the twinkling lights of the Sydney skyline. Max stood proudly in his tailored navy suit, exuding confidence as he greeted guests. Ellie, radiant in a flowing white dress, floated through the crowd, her laughter ringing like music. Their engagement party was a celebration of love and hope, filled with friends and family. "Here's to the future, Mr. and Mrs. Harrison." Jason raised his glass, eliciting cheers and applause from the crowd. As the couple shared a kiss under the stars, Ellie felt a rush of joy. It was a night she had dreamed of, a perfect evening surrounded by love. But as the night wore on, Ellie noticed her mother-in-law-to-be, Maggie, observing from a distance. Maggie, with her gentle demeanor, had always been a guiding force in Max's life, and Ellie respected her deeply. Yet tonight, Maggie's expression was not one of joy. It held a hint of concern. After cutting the cake, Ellie approached Maggie, her heart racing. "Maggie, is everything okay?" Maggie forced a smile but replied softly, "I just want you both to be happy, Ellie. That's all." Ellie brushed off the feeling, attributing it to typical parental protectiveness. But a seed of doubt began to sprout in her mind. A week later, the sun was shining brightly as Max and Ellie drove to Maggie's beachside home for lunch. The gentle sound of waves crashing on the shore created a soothing atmosphere. As they arrived, Maggie greeted them with open arms, her warmth enveloping them like a comforting blanket. Come in! I made your favorite, Ellie. Chicken curry," Maggie said, her eyes sparkling with affection. As they sat down to eat, the atmosphere felt cozy. However, Max could sense a tension building in Maggie's demeanor. After a few bites, she set down her fork and turned serious. "Max, there's something I need to discuss with you," Maggie said, her voice quivering slightly. Max exchanged a worried glance with Ellie. "What's on your mind, Mom?" "I love you both dearly, but I'm worried about Ellie. She has a past that I think you need to understand better. I've seen things you haven't, and I don't want you to get hurt," Maggie confessed. Max felt a rush of anger and confusion. "Mom, how can you say that? Ellie is amazing. I love her." Ellie, feeling defensive, added, "I understand your concern, Maggie, but I've worked hard to build a life I'm proud of. My past doesn't define me." Maggie's gaze softened. "I know, but please, just think about it. I wouldn't ask if I wasn't sure." Max nodded, but he was torn. He trusted Ellie completely and didn't want to entertain doubts that could jeopardize their future. As they left, he promised himself he would protect their love no matter what. Weeks passed, and the wedding preparations were in full swing. Max and Ellie poured their hearts into planning the perfect day, selecting floral arrangements and tasting cakes. But Ellie couldn't shake the feeling of unease, especially when Max would sometimes disappear for long periods, claiming to be busy with work. One evening, while working on invitations at their shared apartment, Ellie noticed her phone buzzing with a notification. It was a message from an unknown number. "I saw Max with his ex again. Just thought you should know." Her heart dropped as she read and reread the message. It was as if the world around her had blurred. Doubt crept in, and her mind raced with fear. Could it be true? Determined to get answers, Ellie confided in Jason. Over a drink at his bar, she shared her concerns, her voice shaky. "Do you think Max could be cheating on me?" Ellie asked, her eyes filled with tears. Jason, protective and loyal, shook his head. "I've known Max for years. He loves you, Ellie. But if you have doubts, maybe it's worth investigating." With Jason's encouragement, Ellie began to look for clues. She followed Max one night, her heart pounding in her chest, as she trailed him through the bustling streets of Sydney. She watched from a distance as he entered a bar, her stomach twisting into knots. Minutes passed and Ellie's heart raced. What if he was with his ex? What if Maggie was right? The doubt weighed heavily on her. As she peered into the bar, Ellie's breath caught in her throat. There, in a corner booth, was Max, laughing and talking animatedly with a woman she recognized as his ex-girlfriend, Chloe. Ellie's heart shattered in an instant. Max leaned in closer, and Ellie could see the familiarity between them, the ease with which they conversed. Anger and hurt flooded her senses as she stormed into the bar, confronting them. "Max, what the hell is going on?" Ellie's voice was sharp, cutting through the laughter. Max's face fell as he turned to see her standing there, eyes blazing with betrayal. Chloe smirked, clearly enjoying the drama unfolding. "Ellie, wait. This isn't what it looks like," Max stammered, standing abruptly. "Then what is it? You're supposed to be planning a wedding with me, and here you are, cozying up with your ex." Max glanced at Chloe, who shrugged. "I thought we were just catching up, Ellie." Ellie's heart raced as she fought back tears. "Catching up? I can't believe you'd betray me like this." Max stepped closer, his expression a mix of regret and confusion. "I didn't mean for you to find out this way. I swear I was trying to figure things out." "Figure what out? How to have your cake and eat it too?" Ellie shot back, her voice trembling with hurt. Chloe rolled her eyes. "You two were bound to fail anyway. Just look at you, too different, too ambitious." Ellie turned to Max, searching his eyes for honesty. "Is this true? Are you still in love with her?" Max hesitated, the silence stretching uncomfortably between them. "I care about Chloe, but I love you, Ellie. You have to believe me." But in that moment, the trust shattered. Ellie could feel the cracks in their relationship widening, and she knew this was a turning point. Heartbroken, she turned on her heel and walked away, Jason's supportive presence awaiting her outside. Back at her apartment, Ellie felt lost in a storm of emotions. Betrayal hung heavy in the air, filling every corner of her mind. In the days that followed, she withdrew from the wedding preparations, choosing to focus on herself rather than the plans that had once filled her with excitement. One evening, Jason dropped by with a bottle of wine, determined to cheer her up. As they sat on the couch, he finally spoke the words she needed to hear. Ellie, you're stronger than this. You don't need Max or anyone else to define your happiness. You've built an incredible life for yourself, and you deserve to celebrate that, he encouraged. Ellie looked at him, tears in her eyes. But I wanted to share my life with him. Now I feel so lost. You can still celebrate yourself. Why not throw a self-love celebration? Show everyone, including Max, that you're more than just his fiancé, Jason suggested, his eyes sparkling with excitement. Inspired, Ellie embraced the idea. They began planning a grand celebration of her independence, inviting friends and family to join her in an empowering event dedicated to self-love and personal growth. Days later, as she sent out invitations, Ellie felt a sense of liberation wash over her. This was her moment to reclaim her narrative. The day of the self-love celebration arrived, and Ellie was a vision of confidence in a stunning red dress that hugged her curves. She transformed the venue into a magical space filled with flowers, candles, and twinkling lights. Friends arrived, radiating excitement and support. Max stood at the back of the venue, his heart heavy with regret. He had been invited, but the reality of seeing Ellie shine without him stung deeply. He watched as she took the stage, a radiant smile illuminating her face. Thank you all for being here today to celebrate not just my journey, but our journeys, Ellie began, her voice strong and clear. Life is filled with challenges, but it's how we respond to those challenges that defines us. As she spoke, her words resonated with everyone in the room, and Max felt a pang of loss, realizing the depth of her strength. She continued, I've learned that love begins with ourselves. We must embrace who we are and our worth before we can share it with others. Cheers erupted from the crowd, and as Ellie scanned the room, her gaze met Jason's. He beamed with pride, supporting her from the sidelines. As the evening unfolded, Ellie shared her journey, turning her heartbreak into a powerful message. The atmosphere was electric, filled with laughter, love, and camaraderie. Max stood there, grappling with his feelings. He realized how he had taken Ellie for granted and how extraordinary she truly was. Watching her thrive without him was both a wake-up call and a reminder of what he had lost. After Ellie's speech, she stepped off the stage, exhilarated by the support she received. However, her heart sank when she spotted Max approaching her, his expression serious. Ellie, can we talk? Max asked, his voice barely above a whisper. Ellie took a deep breath, steadying herself. What do you want, Max? I'm sorry. I messed up. I should have never let things get that far with Chloe. I realize now how much you mean to me, he admitted, his eyes pleading for understanding. Ellie crossed her arms, her heart conflicted. You betrayed my trust, Max. How can I believe anything you say now? Max's voice quivered with emotion. Because I love you, Ellie. I was scared of commitment, and I let my past cloud my judgment. But watching you tonight has made me realize how incredible you are. I don't want to lose you. Ellie's heart raced as she weighed his words. She had dreamed of this moment, the man she loved fighting for her. Yet the scars of betrayal still stung. I need time, Max. Trust isn't easily rebuilt, she replied, her voice firm but soft. Max nodded, his shoulders slumping. I understand. Just know I'll be here, waiting for you. With that, he turned and walked away, leaving Ellie with a whirlwind of emotions. She knew she had the power to choose her path, but it would take time to heal. Months passed, and Ellie continued to embrace her newfound independence. She focused on her career, pouring her energy into her tech startup. The support from friends, especially Jason, fueled her drive, and she thrived in ways she never imagined. Max, on the other hand, took the time to reflect on his mistakes. He dedicated himself to personal growth, seeking therapy to understand his fears and insecurities. Slowly, he began to rebuild his life, realizing that he needed to become a better version of himself before pursuing Ellie again. One day, while working late in her office, Ellie received an unexpected message from Max. "Can we meet? I have something important to share." Ellie hesitated but agreed, curious yet cautious about what he wanted to say. They decided to meet at a cafe that held special memories for them, where their love had first blossomed. As Ellie entered the cafe, her heart raced. Max was already there, sitting at a corner table, his expression a mix of nerves and hope. He looked different, more grounded, more mature. "Hey," he greeted softly, a tentative smile on his face. "Hey," Ellie replied, taking a seat across from him. The atmosphere was charged with unspoken words. Max took a deep breath, his hands clasped tightly. "I've been doing a lot of thinking since our last conversation. I realized I need to take responsibility for my actions. I was scared and acted selfishly." Ellie nodded, her heart still guarded. "You hurt me, Max. It wasn't just about what happened with Chloe. It was about the trust we built." Max met her gaze, his eyes filled with sincerity. "I know, and I can't change the past. But I want you to know that I've been working on myself. I want to be the man you deserve." He paused, searching for the right words. "I don't want to pressure you, but I believe we can have something beautiful again if you're willing to give me another chance." Ellie's heart raced, caught between the desire to forgive and the fear of being hurt again. "I need to know you're committed to this. It can't just be words. It has to be actions." Max nodded earnestly. "I understand. I'm ready to prove it to you." With time, Ellie allowed herself to consider the possibility of a renewed relationship with Max. They began to reconnect, going on casual outings and rediscovering the joy they once shared. Slowly, Ellie felt the walls around her heart begin to crumble, allowing space for forgiveness. As they spent time together, Max demonstrated his commitment through his actions, being supportive of Ellie's career, attending her events, and communicating openly about his feelings and fears. One evening, while watching the sunset on the beach, Ellie, her heart full. "I appreciate the effort you've made, Max. It means a lot to me." Max smiled, his eyes sparkling with hope. "I'll always fight for us, Ellie. I want to create a future together, one built on trust and love." And as the sun dipped below the horizon, Ellie knew that while their journey had been tumultuous, they were ready to forge a new path together, filled with understanding and growth. In a world full of challenges, Ellie's story serves as a reminder that we hold the power to choose our paths, no matter the circumstances. Love is a beautiful journey, but the most crucial love is the one we give ourselves. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions or thoughts about Ellie's journey, feel free to comment below. Don't forget to like and share the story.